today, Eric made me watch Krampus.
Okay, so this is a little out of order, because we did The Room last time.
Yep, which you made me watch. I did not have a Christmas he made me watch. I looked for one.
So we moved it around
anything.
a little bit so that we could do Krampus.
Yeah, but we'll just consider this our Christmas special. I don't know that I have to do 2 in a row. It's not really a big deal to me.
Yeah, I think that's fine. If we just go back to normal order.
Yeah, that's fine with me. But I'll pick the next one. So anyway, Eric, talk about Krampus and how you finally watched this movie last year and why you decided to make me watch it.
Well, Krampus had come out not last year, but the year before that. And
Is it only a couple of years old?
It's only 2 years old. Or 3, I guess, at this point. Last year, I rented this and I'd watched it because the previous year it had come out and I hadn't seen it in theaters. And what is the point of watching this when it's not Christmas time? So I didn't get around to it until Christmas time. And I just kind of watched it by myself and I was like, oh, it's really fun. It's the best PG-13 horror movie I've maybe ever seen.
Oh, you think so?
I mean,
that's tough, man. It's not better than Poltergeist.
I'm talking about like in the modern era of PG-13 horror.
You said
movie.
ever.
Well, Poltergeist is PG. It actually isn't even the running. Poltergeist is pre the PG-13 rating. No, I'm talking about in the modern day of the really safe PG-13 horror movies.
Yep. Fair enough.
But this is a movie that's doing the thing that I don't think a lot of movies are doing now, which is it's going back to Poltergeist and Gremlins, things like that. Things that maybe you can show your kids, maybe you can't. It's right on that line, like Poltergeist and Gremlins.
I don't know about that with this. And it's not for horror things. It's for material. It's for like lewd speech and.
Yeah, no, and that's fair. But I think that's kind of just the modern world we live in.
That goes a lot farther.
But I don't know.
Some of that stuff.
Gremlins goes real far.
Well, that's true. That's true.
But it's a movie that I felt while I was watching it, and then when I watched the special features, I was like, oh, it's really trying to do that kind of a thing. The Gremlins, Poltergeist, that kind of a horror movie, I think it does that pretty effectively. And so I was like, oh, hey, it's this fun movie, and
yeah, and it looks at the world in the same kind of like heightened, cynical way. You know what I mean? We're like yeah, like it's a cynical movie, but but in the sense that it's saying like, here's what's really wrong with the world right now, and it tries to exaggerate that. So what you're looking at, it's not saying is the real world. It's kind of a real screwed up version of it.
Yeah, kind of like Gremlins.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's why I like that comparison.
But I really enjoyed it. So we were gonna watch it last year, but I think I just didn't have it that long because I just rented it, and so I was like, okay, well, I'll do it next year for Christmas. We'll do Krampus. So
yeah, sure.
Here we are next year. Krampus.
Here's Krampus.
I've been here for over a year. That's weird.
Yes, it is. So I guess just real quick. Well, why don't you give us a quick plot synopsis, and then I'll break down very briefly my feelings on it.
So it's about a family who brings like other extended family members into their home for the Christmas season. It's that basic setup. They all hate each other. They're all...
You're right, there are a lot of Christmas movies that start that way. It's because we do the extended family thing a lot, of course, in real life. So it's Evil Home Alone.
Yeah, or Christmas Vacation.
Right.
It's that basic setup of it's a family, and they're not the worst. I'm glad that they're not the worst people to begin with, the main family. The dad's a little distant, and he's on his phone, and she's like, I thought you said no work, and he's like, no. I said I wasn't going any. I wasn't no plane trips. The really horrible
aunt or grandmother or whoever she is.
Well, I'm just talking about the main family before the second family gets out.
Oh, okay.
The grandmother is just German, and
Yeah, but who's the overweight lady?
That's the aunt who comes in with the rest.
She's just the worst.
Yeah. So they're mostly okay. The sister's a little bratty, although she gets taken out real fast.
Yeah, but isn't the whole thing really satirical?
Yeah, I mean, it's.
I mean, you say they're not the worst. I don't feel like they're real people. I feel like they're all archetypes.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to have. I mean, there's levels of awful and irritating, but they're all not good people. With just a couple of exceptions. I mean, the kid's okay, and then you have, because it's also a horror film, so you have the token. I forget if it's the dad or whoever. Yeah, it's the dad. The dad's kind of like the token good guy character that you know is going to die, but you hope doesn't. Which happens, and then I knew it would, but that happens. Everybody lives at the end, but do they?
That's not exactly.
No, I know. It's not. I'm just saying you see them all again. But then the grandmother is kind of the Weiss age character.
Yeah. So then the extended family comes, and it gets really bad, and they all kind of hate each other. No one here likes each other, and it's kind of about the fact that, like, because there's even a line about where it's like, well, that's what family is. It's the people you put up with because you have to.
That's the best line in the movie.
And that's the idea.
Obligation.
And
social obligation that feels almost like it comes from on high, like. It's almost like the I keep talking about this throughout the omnibus, but the kind of the commercialism idea of the outside world is telling you so it can make money that you're supposed to all get together on Christmas, and everyone's stressed out because they have to put Christmas presents together and stuff, and they go really overboard with the decorations. Oh my god!
It's interesting because
it's a satire about all that.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because it opens with the Christmas music and all the people trampling each other on for the Christmas sales. The movie actually isn't as much about consumerism as that opening would be.
And as you acted like it was after you saw it, and we talked about it before, you led me to think that the whole movie was going to be about that, and I was a little bit.
I don't think it's so much about the consumerism as much as the negativeness around Christmas at this point. It's
about all aspects of it.
Yeah. The consumerism thing is there, but not as much as the opening would lead you to believe.
You're fighting and clawing to get the perfect present, not because you actually want to give these people presents, but because you know that you're supposed to, almost like it's the law or something.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing everything you can to avoid awkwardness or people being mad at you, or it's just, or even maybe it's more subconscious than that, where it's just, this is what I'm supposed to do, and so I do it.
Mm-hmm. And then.
We're all mindless drones buying things because we're told to.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
It's not great.
That's what the movie is saying.
Psycho Stick has a whole song about it.
That's right.
But, so the...
Gotta do Psycho Stick on the guitar pick at some point.
Oh, yeah. We'd have to, like, listen to an actual whole album.
Yeah, we should. I have. I've done that.
Oh, have you just sat down and listened to an album?
I have. It's on Spotify.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. But, so the main kid...
I can only count to 4.
Who believes in Santa...
I can only count to 4! Sorry.
The main kid who believes in Santa, which is, I thought, dealt with really well. The idea that, like, he believes in Santa and all the other kids are making fun of him for it.
Yeah, it's great.
Like, isn't it so dumb you believe in Santa?
And, I mean, it is. Like, I don't know how you could get to that age and still believe in Santa. Like, where do you think the... Like after a while, it just become pretty evident that, like, there's not a guy that's bringing you presents.
But it seems like it's almost like
But he's not an idiot. I mean, like...
No, it seems like he knows, but, like, he kind of wants to believe in... Like, he still wants to think that's a thing. Like,
yeah,
it seems
sure.
like he... So he gets upset at one point and tears up his Christmas list or his Christmas letter to Santa, which I love, because it starts with, I know I haven't been that good this year.
Yeah.
Which is more honest than any child has ever been writing their Christmas list. And it's... I forget what he's supposed to ask for, but it's not for things. It is to help his family. Like, I think he says he wants his mom and dad to love each other again.
He says he wishes that Christmas was the way it used to be.
Yeah. And he throws up in the air, and
I don't know what exactly that means. I'm not... The one thing I was puzzled about is... Like if this family, and especially the extended family, used to get along better, and if something has what exactly has happened?
Mm-hmm. I think it's just the world. Maybe is the idea.
That's really sad if that's what the movie's talking about. Yeah.
But so Krampus comes, and Krampus kind of hunts them, and we kind of stay in the house for a little bit, and then we get all these crazy creatures, and then they finally go outside, and Krampus kind of picks them off one by one, or at least his minions pick them off one by one. Until we get...
No, don't get too far ahead of us, because I want to ask you this question.
Okay.
Does Krampus come because of what he wishes for in the letter, or because the letter got ripped up?
I think he comes because the letter got ripped up.
I'm
not exactly sure.
Yeah.
Because
he ends up getting what he wants at the end, but in like a Goosebumps way.
Yeah.
They're all getting along okay, but they're all in a snow globe, and I'm assuming that's the afterlife, and they're dead.
Yeah. Well...
It's hard to tell.
Something. Because
did they actually all really get murdered?
He puts them in a sack.
Oh,
he collects people in a sack. So, and then he opens up the...
Yeah, I forgot about them.
He opens up the hole to the underworld, because Krampus takes you to the underworld, and the little boy is the only one left, and he says, take me. Instead of throwing them in, just take me. I'm the one that called you, take me. And Krampus just laughs at him, and throws all of them in, and then throws him in. And then...
I had a question about that, but yeah.
They all wake up, and it seems like everything's okay, and it's just Christmas morning. It was just like a weird dream, and then we have like a tell that like, oh, Krampus. And then we pull out and we see that the whole family is living in a snow globe, and there are all of these snow globes all over. There are also families in snow globes that Krampus has come and taken.
A twist written for R.L. Stein.
Yeah, yeah.
Because then, the twist.
Is this your first, not this viewing, but when the movie came out, was that your first like hearing of Krampus?
It was, yeah.
Krampus?
I didn't really know what that was.
Years ago, when I was a little bit younger.
Everywhere now.
People won't stop doing Krampus. There's a Hellboy Krampus that's coming out, which I'm sure will be wonderful.
Wow.
But we went to a dinner for a family that my family knew through like my little brother's hockey team. Like their kid also was on the hockey team, and they were a very affluent family. And somehow we were talking about Santa and Christmas. Maybe was close to them, but their grandfather was there, and he was very German. And he just there's just a point in the conversation where he goes, when I was a child, we did not have Santa Claus. We had Krampus, and if you weren't a good child, he would take you. And so that was the first time I ever heard about Krampus.
Like, I like that they made her German because of where the mythology comes from. But it's only because of that, because it seems like it can happen to anybody.
It's also weird because her son doesn't seem German at all.
Yeah, and
they all understand her, but no one ever speaks it back.
Well, I mean, that kind of thing happens, though.
Yeah, I guess so. I've known people that have that with Spanish and stuff.
If he was born here.
Yeah.
No, that's not a big deal.
Okay.
But here's my big question. Why? And by the way, I think she gives the best performance in the movie. Why does Krampus leave her but takes the kid?
Because he goes back. So you hear the voiceover again where it's Krampus always leaves someone to like tell the tale or whatever. And that happens, and then the kid follows him. He's like, "No, this is not what's happening. Just take me and leave everyone else."
So he changes what he usually does?
Yeah, I think he just doesn't, like, he's just like a trickster. Like, he's laughing at him. He's like, look at me. Like, you think you can tell me what to do? I'll take you too. Like,
So he's not held to anything?
I don't think so.
Okay, see, sure. I thought he left someone because those are the rules. And
no, I think that's just what he does.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, he's horrifying.
And the kid just did it.
His design's really good.
Yeah, no, he looks
the scary horrified Santa face is great.
Yeah. For the budget, this movie is like $20 million. I think we looked it up. It was
production
like
values are quite good.
Looks great. The elves are terrifying.
The gingerbread men look a lot better than you'd think on that budget with CG. That's done really well. The teddy bear's awesome.
The teddy bear's awesome. I like the big Jack in the Box thing because I love the idea, because he's giant, and there's that spring bit for Jack in the Box.
Yeah.
You see people digesting in the giant spring.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great.
Okay, so can I tell you my issue?
Sure.
With my issues with this movie, and this might be part of why I didn't notice them. It lost me in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I lost interest in this about half an hour, 45 minutes in, and then when the big crazy monster stuff started happening, I was more interested again, but almost in more of like a music video kind of way. And then the twist was really cool, but I was already no longer invested remotely in the story.
They spend too much time just alone in the house.
Yeah. Once it becomes a horror film, I stopped caring.
Mm.
And then when it becomes the kind of horror film that's fun, like Poltergeist, when it's fun, then I started to care again. But I wasn't invested enough in the characters to care about what was happening to them or what might happen to them when we were just building suspense. And I feel like it's a 45-minute movie stretched to an hour and a half.
Or it's a movie that was written for a higher budget, and then they had to do something in the middle of it because they couldn't do it for the whole movie.
Yeah,
I think that's also possible.
It's real talky at the beginning, and the writing is better than this material deserves. And then we kind of stop talking, and it just becomes a monster hunting people movie, and I was not interested in that.
Yeah, I think...
And I feel like that's not the movie I was sold at the beginning.
I think the biggest problem with that middle chunk is that they don't give you enough.
I just wanted it to stay, like, sharp satire through the whole thing, because that was subverting the standard horror movie model. I also like that it is a standard horror movie formula, and then at the end it manages to subvert it when you get to the snow globe, and that's really fun.
Mm. I think I think the problem with that middle section is that it feels like nothing's happening. If we actually had some kills and got to see a creature or two during that, I think it would feel a little bit less.
But
that
you got to
way.
break it up with some discussion and some more meaty satire, because that's what makes the movie work.
Mm-hmm. This is written and directed by, what is his name? Michael Dougherty, who was a writer on X-Men 2 and did in fact do a movie called
really interesting.
And is writing and directing the next Godzilla film.
Yeah, that's right, folks. The guy responsible for Krampus is at least partially responsible for Stryker.
And the way it's always talked about, it seems like he is the main writer on that movie, as far as like the final draft kind of thing. Because he's also the one that talked about what they would do with the third movie with Phoenix and all that.
Cool.
But he has done one movie prior to this that I'm aware of, which is called Trick or Treat, which is a Halloween horror film, but it is an anthology short story thing.
Oh, okay. I've heard of that, but I didn't know what it was like.
It's fine.
Have you watched it?
It's an anthology movie. Some of them are good, some of them not so good.
Sure.
I don't know if it's great, but I like this a little bit better. This is having a little bit more fun with the holiday than
this
that did.
watches like it could have been a vignette in a movie with 3 or 4 more.
Which is why I brought that up.
Yes.
But I don't know if there's...
That explains the problem with it.
I don't know if there's 3 or 4 more Christmas horror... Like, maybe it should have been a holiday horror thing.
Maybe
I think you're right. I think this... At the very least, I think this could have been trimmed a bit. I mean, how long? It can't be longer than like 9 minutes, right? I'm just going to keep saying 90 minutes for every movie. 1 hour and 38 minutes. So, yeah, trimming it more would make it almost not a movie.
Yeah, that's right.
It's got a weak second middle bit.
It does sag real hard in the middle, and I just think it needed to get crazier quicker. There's no reason Krampus should wait as long as he... I don't know why he waits so long.
Or at the very least, like, if you leave Krampus for a reveal, like, we should have gotten some of those creatures earlier. The gingerbread men should be showing up earlier.
Well, that's what I mean. But I mean, they're what, like, heralds or avatars for Krampus, right? Is that supposed to be the idea? That, like,
there's minions, I think.
Yeah.
Because, like, Santa's got elves and stuff like that.
I'll say I'm feeling it. I'm lukewarm on this. I don't think it's great. I think I
certainly liked it more than you did.
I think I expected too much from it at the start because I was really surprised by the sharpness of the writing, and that falls off too quickly and never comes back really.
It also has one of maybe the dumbest characters in a horror movie ever, the kid that eats the gingerbread cookie man.
That's that kid. And I wasn't as surprised by the gingerbread men as I might have been because I've seen that in a Tick episode. But
the bear got you.
The bear got me. The bear's great. Yeah, yeah. Well, and I love the gingerbread man. I've seen that before. So there are some things where, again, it's all about perspective. There are in relativism. Like there's some things where if you've already seen it in something before, other people will be like, "It's so crazy," and you're like, "Well, I've seen that before. It's not that crazy."
Yeah.
So yeah. But the Jack in the Box, the evil scary Jack in the Box, I've seen in 1,000 Batman stories. It's great in this.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's a really cool design.
So yeah, thanks for making me watch that.
Yeah,
definitely worth a watch. I don't know that I would necessarily watch it again, but it was definitely worth a watch. So anyway, that's it for He Made Me Watch.